everybody, Blugoblin here with my newest comic book review for this week of August 2014. I want to thank y'all for watching. This was kind of a small week, but I was finally able to find some time to finish reading all these books. You know, I've got a new job now. I'm working basically 6 days a week. You can find the time to read these and then get the reviews up. But it's just Marvel and DC this time. Nothing from IDW or Dynamite here, sorry. But I got a lot of stuff to say. So let's go ahead and get started with DC and end with Marvel. And with DC, we're going to start off with Batman and Robin, number 34. It's the part 2 of Robin Rises. Now, Peter Tomasi and Patrick Gleason, they do their best work with this series. But this issue was funny. Kind of good, kind of bad. Let me explain. Bruce is driven to get Damian back. I get that. I understand that. I respect that. What parent wouldn't literally go to hell and back to save their child? You know, what good parent wouldn't really do that? You know, you got to admire that. But here's where it gets a little funny. You know, he's setting up distractions for the Justice League so he can get what he needs to do this mission. Once again, playing up the Justice League like they're some sort of band of judgmental gods who have this unbelievable non-existent authority. And then there's like but before we get to that, we have this scene between Bruce and the rest of the members of the Bat family, Batgirl, Red Hood, and Red Robin. You know, Barbara, Tim, and Jason. You know, basically telling them, look, I understand we have our differences right now. We're not exactly on the best of terms, but I'm here to tell you, no more lies. From now on, it's just the cold, hard truth. They understand that. They come to an agreement. It's like, okay, we're good and everything. You want us to go with you to Apocalypse to find Damian? He's like, no, I need to do this. You need to protect Gotham. So he sends them off on their way, and as soon as Barbara, Tim, and Jason leave, up from the ceiling, here comes Dick Grayson. And I'm like, that moment when Dick shows up in this book, that moment just contradicted everything Bruce said about no more secrets, no more lies. You know, I would logically look at this as like, well, Dick is now a spy, so nobody's supposed to know he's still alive, you know, except for Bruce. Bruce has to know everything. But it's like, you just fucking contradicted yourself to these three people who have a tough time trusting you to begin with. I'm like, this is so stupid, it's funny. And I'm like, wow. I mean, it's like all this talk about there being no more secrets and no more lies, and you fucking lying to them as you're saying this. You know, you didn't once say, oh, by the way, Dick never really died. He's actually working as a super spy. But you don't want to blow the whistle on him being a spy and everything like that. I get that. But, wow, it's just that moment when Dick shows up, you know, he's like, he's hiding something from the rest of the Bat family. Whatever. And it's like, basically, the other half is Bruce getting his armor from the Justice League satellite, and a very interesting conversation between him and Lex Luthor, which all leads to him booming into Apocalypse at the very end of the issue. It was what it was. It did what it needed to do, you know, set up more dramatic storytelling leading up to the eventual trip to Apocalypse to go save Damian. It did what it needed to do. It served its purpose, and it was good, but very flawed, in my opinion. I give it a 3. Oh, God. Batwoman, number 34. Fuck it. What the hell, DC? Are you fucking serious? It's just unbelievable. The bullshit you write here. You mean to tell me, after all this build, after all this dramatic character development between Kate and Maggie. Your only existing canon lesbian couple in your company. And you're just going to throw it away. For what? So Maggie can have her child? So Maggie can continue to see her kid? I understand that, but here's the thing. If Kate and Maggie are indeed soulmates, as it was referenced in that issue, wouldn't Kate think for maybe even one small second that maybe Maggie's worth fighting for? That maybe Maggie is worth going through all this hell for if she really does love her that much? After reading that, I was so pissed off. Now, I'm a proud and open heterosexual. You know, but I don't see anything wrong with having a canon gay or lesbian couple in mainstream comic books. I think it teaches younger readers, it's like, hey, there's no need for hatred or prejudice. But that right there was bullshit. And of all people to write this garbage, Mark Andreyko. This is a homophobic move that I just can't even begin to describe. This was pathetic. This was a pathetic issue for Kate to just flat out just end her relationship with Maggie because she's afraid, because she's worried that it might, you know, endanger Maggie's relationship with her daughter. If you really love somebody very much, wouldn't they be worth fighting for? Wouldn't they be worth going to custody battles for or whatever? Couldn't Kate fight alongside with Maggie, let Maggie deal with her shit, and let her be a person that Maggie can come home to and have a shoulder to cry on? Kate basically left Maggie alone as part of a deal she made with her ex-husband. I'm spoiling the hell out of this book, but I don't fucking care. This was a complete waste of my time and a complete waste of my money. I don't even know if I'm going to stick with this series anymore. I'm seriously considering dropping this series because of that issue. It pissed me off. It just felt so homophobic to me. That whole piece of shit issue, and it ends on the cliffhanger of Nocturna biting Kate in the neck. Whoa. Bottom line is, the book sucked. Fuck you, Mark Andreyko. Fuck you, DC Comics. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You homophobic pieces of goddamn shit. Book gets a 1. Moving on. Green Lantern New Guardians, number 34. Justin Jordan, Brad Walker. Good stuff here. This was much better than I thought it was going to be. We're going into this. This is like the big blow-off in this whole Scions storyline with the Guardians being held captive and everything. You know, Kyle and Carol and the Guardians do what they can to get out of this predicament with the Scions, and long story short, a sacrifice is made. A huge sacrifice is made in here. I'm not going to ruin anything. All I'm going to say is, wow. This was good. This is a scenario that's been played out a lot. I've seen this kind of storytelling dozens of times, but for me, if done right and if written properly, it can still work. And for me, it does work. This was great. Much better than I was expecting it to be. A fun read, a great read, a dramatic read. Nicely done. This was good. I give it a 4. Moving on to the last of the DC stack. Sensation Comics featuring Wonder Woman number 1. Gail Simone, Ethan Van Sciver, to everybody who worked on this. This was good. But for all of you viewers out there who say I worship Gail Simone, I kiss Gail Simone's ass, I bow down to Gail's feet, whatever you want to say, prepare to drop your jaw. This, to me, was a little underwhelming. It was. It was a little underwhelming, the first story. This is a 2-story book. The first story is written by Gail Simone, and it's an homage to the previous DC universe that we had before the New 52 started. For those of you who loved Barbara Gordon as Oracle, do yourselves a favor and pick up this book, because Barbara is Oracle in this book. Superman has his red underwear on again. This is clearly taking place in the prior DC universe. However, the dialogue in here is a bit cheesy. It is a bit campy. However, the interior artwork is so beautiful, it still kind of works. However, the storytelling and the writing from Gail Simone in here, I was kind of expecting more. I'm not saying it was bad, I'm just saying it was good, just not great. I know that's going to shock a lot of people because I'm such a big Gail Simone fanboy, but the fact is, what am I? I'm honest. And honestly, the first story, the artwork was better than the writing. But I'm not saying the writing was bad, it's just, it's a Gail Simone book. I kind of expected something a little different than what I got. The writing and the dialogue just seemed kind of dated. However, the artwork helped me get through it. But the second story was really good, with Diana feuding, having a short little spat with Cersei in here, and it ends on a kind of moment, and I liked it. This was a good first issue. I was pleased with it, even though I was kind of expecting something different than what I got. For what it was, I enjoyed it. I'd still say go ahead and pick this up. You know, if you love Gail Simone, odds are you'll love this. If you like Ethan Van Sciver and everything, you'll like this. I think the second story was a little bit better in terms of writing, but I'm sure a lot of people are just going to buy it because it says Gail Simone on it. But, you know, be that as it may, I wanted something a little different, but I was happy with what I got. I give it a 3. Going to Marvel, starting off with All New X Factor, number 12. Oh boy. This was interesting. You have the team going to this big press conference, and Fatale shows up, minor spoiler, and exposes somebody in this press conference. Meanwhile, we have at the beginning of the book, we have Quicksilver meeting up, having another one of his secret meetings with Havoc. And this is where I really wanted to groan, because again, in another Marvel book, we get to be reminded just how much of an erection Marvel has for the Avengers. Just like I said, DC Comics is Batman's biggest fan base. DC Comics has a bigger fan base of Batman than us readers do. And now I'm saying this, Marvel is the bigger fan club for the Avengers than us readers are. And we're reminded of it in this. Havoc is trying to convince Quicksilver to quit X Factor and rejoin the Avengers. And Quicksilver's like, why? And Havoc grabs Quicksilver's arm and tries to stop him from leaving. He says, because the Avengers is the A-team. The Avengers is where you need to be. I'm like, I'm looking at this dialogue that I'm reading when it comes to describing how good the Avengers are, and I'm like, are you trying to convince him to join the Avengers, or are you trying to convince him to take a hit? I'm like, what the fuck is this? When did the Avengers become some fucking mob gang? Either you join us or you suffer? It's kind of the vibe I was getting from this scene. It was so pathetic. But be that as it may, it was brilliantly written by Peter David. You know, I guess Peter David was trying to write it to Marvel's satisfaction as I really hype up the Avengers and how awesome they fucking are, because ooh, we love the Avengers here at Marvel. But at the same time, Peter David's also trying to get through to us fans, saying, hey, Marvel really loves the Avengers, but this is the kind of vibe I was getting. Peter David was writing this scene to try and please both Marvel and the readers who think the Avengers are highly overrated by Marvel themselves. That's just what I was getting. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But The issue actually ends on a oh kind of moment, and I dare not spoil what it is. This was a good read with, once again, a painful reminder just how much Marvel jerks off to the Avengers. I mean, this is just really, it was fun, yet a painful reminder. And the scene with Gambit, with their boss of Serval Industries, that was fucking hilarious. And that's all I'm going to say. This book was good, but it had its moments like I just described. I give it a 3.5. Time for the pick of the week, folks. Daredevil number 7. Oh my God. Mark Waid, thank you, man. You did a really good job. This was miles above better than issue 6 was. Issue 6 made us believe one thing, and here we go in issue 7. It's like, oh, you thought it was that? This is how it really is. Wow. Fucking awesome. I loved this. Matt goes to Wakanda to confront T'Challa's sister, the Black Panther, the Queen of Wakanda, to try and release these prisoners. But instead of doing it with brute force, Matt does it with his mind and with his skills as a lawyer. Fucking great. I love the stuff he was saying to all these people in Wakanda to get what he was there to get. And I loved how it was done. And when he finally gets his mission accomplished, minor spoiler there, yes, he does succeed. But it's what happens after he makes this deal with Wakanda. It's what happens after that is where the book really gets good. And we get some more explanations about Matt's past concerning his mother and father. And that's where I'm going to leave it. This was great. This issue, I'm so thankful for this particular issue of Daredevil. Because issue 6 had me thinking one thing about Matt's past. And then we get this and we learn a completely different thing concerning Matt's past. That kind of, you know, that forgives what I was thinking about issue 6. This was really good. Very good. There is some action in here. There is some brilliant one-liners in here. But what really sells this is the drama. And it was so well presented, so well told. I loved it. This was great. Thank you, Mark Waid. Thank you, Marvel, for this issue. This was great. Not perfect. Nearly perfect, but not quite. A 4.5. This was fucking awesome. So, there's my review, everybody. I hope y'all liked it. So, let me know in the comments, what did you think about these particular books that I reviewed? Did you read these? Did you like them? Did you hate them? What do you think about DC's blatantly homophobic move in Batwoman that pissed me the fuck off? What do you think about the rest of these books I reviewed? Is there something that I missed? What was your pick of the week? Just tell me something. Just don't troll on me. So, there you go. Please subscribe to this channel. Don't forget Blugoblin X, Arkham Asylum Studio with Jennifer and me. We just did the Ice Bucket Challenge thing. Go check it out on Arkham Asylum Studio. Yeah, y'all are going to have plenty to say about the Ice Bucket Challenge. But it was a rush. But, yeah, don't forget me on Twitter at Blugoblin01, blugoblin.tumblr.com. Don't forget my old buddies, TheMtVernonKid, Deadpoolzilla, Brandon Hex. Thanks for watching, everybody, and until next time, I'll see y'all later.